Hello viewers, you are seeing the Summer of the Afghan from the platform of the Core Issue International or the Core International Issues, where we discuss the core international matters and we build the critical and hypothetical analysis on the different issues the world is facing today and world is going to face in future. So viewers, Arab-Israel conflict is gaining momentum day by day. It was the previous conflict, but now it is gaining more and more energy and more sparkle and emerging on the whole globe with full zeal and full potential of massacres. Especially after the latest conflict started between Israel and Palestine. So Arab-Israel conflict is really getting more momentum after Israel-Palestine new conflict and which is gaining more and more momentum with its massacres and with its bloody sentiments. So, Arab-Israel conflict. When we see both the sides of Arab and Israelis, we can say that they are behaving sometime diabolically and sometime like seraph. There is something related to the nature, related to the fluctuating and designating nature of the Arab and Israel, where both the cousins cannot unite themselves, cannot engage themselves in the bond of the unity that Almighty has revealed on them, and then they got previous time before. That is the point. So I'm going to explain the main facts and main organizations of the Israelis that are playing against the Palestine. And at the same time, we know that after Mossad and after Hamas, there are also the lot of the clandestine and secret missions playing deliberately against the Muslims and against religion. Islam is the most extremist ideology on the earth. Islam is not a religion, but it is the ideology. It is mind inculcation. And I have never seen the most radical ideology on the earth like Islam. These are the words said by the most erudite and the most politic nature of Protestants, Pamela Giller. She is the efficient founder of the WASP, Western Anglo-Saxon Protestant Organization, and she has blatantly explained that Islam is the violent ideology on the earth. Islam is the violent ideology on the earth, and I have never seen such a type of the radical ideology existing on this ecosystem. So why there is a much inculcated hatred against the Islam, especially in the mind of the Jews? And is it the reality, or is it just a hypothetical reactions and the backlash from the Muslim side? I'm going to expose some sentiments either from Muslim sides, either from Jew sides, and either from Christian sides. But you have to decide and you have to read between the lines, and then you have to tell me that either Israel is playing the diabolical role or Israel is seraph. Actually, from 1948, when the Israel got its emergence on the globe of the world, after that, the history has completely turned its pages. Especially, Israel emerged in the world as the most powerful, and not only the country, but also the most powerful ideology of the superpowers. That's why the superpowers are every time following the Israel ideology. But I am just saying this, I am just throwing this eminence from my side. Either you peoples are believing or not. So I'm going to clarify and debunk what I am saying. Boisterously is that more than 62 American-backed organizations, fully funded organizations are working in the Israel. I'm saying this from the platform of the Core Issue International, but it is something that is the fact that more than 18 or 19 religious denominations, and at the same time more than 18 or 19 groups are working in Israel against not only against Palestine but against all the Islamic fundamentalism. Islamic fundamentalism is really existing in this world, no doubt. There are a lot of the countries where you can openly get the caricature of the Islamic fundamentalism. Islamic fundamentalism is so spiteful that Israel has to get a backup support from a lot of the superheroes to cope with the Islamic fundamentalism. And actually, this act of the Israel to always create and to always build a strategy, a complice, and artifact against the Palestine and whole Muslim world is actually inculcating the hatred in the minds of more than I think that 120 Islamic countries. I think we know that the Arab-Israel conflict is not only the conflict, but it is the conflict like the two cousins are living in the same room, and then they are fighting for their homes. Although they are the cousins, but no one from the international community is going to again make them to realize, after the religious inculcation from sides of the Protestants. So WASP has its really a secret and a clandestine mission against the Islamic fundamentalism. But in this mission, WASP is also targeting the innocent Muslims like in Palestine too. Why there is always the fear from the Muslim sides, although the Muslim countries, I think, in the world are helpless countries. Many times, the Arab-Israel conflict is gaining more and more momentum, especially after the religious inculcation from sides of the Protestants. From Palestine side, we can say that Hamas is openly announcing that Hamas is not fit with the Israel. Why an organization, and why Islamic extremist organization is called by a lot of the Jews? So a lot of the people said, that you are hypocritically saying that WASP and every Jewish organization is really the fundamental and terrorist organization by putting a cover and rape on the activities of the Hamas. I'm not in the favor of the Hamas, but I am just questioning the factor that makes an organization so blatantly explain his malicious and spiteful missions and plot against the country that has more than, I think, that against the country that is, I think, that more powerful and more advanced military equipments than Hamas, but what has made them to openly and blatantly explain their hatred in front of Israel. That is something the world has to put their focus on this issue. There is something really missing between the two countries, and that is the brotherhood. The brotherhood that the two countries lost from their previous stories and from. But all the world countries have to put their focus on Israel-Palestine conflict. That what has made the Israel-Palestine conflict as the most furious conflicts on the name of religion. Although religion always preaches the mission of the brotherhood and the mission of the peace. And is this conflict really a conflict that is mystical? And is this conflict really the conflict related to the conflict of theocracy? So that is something, and that is the chapter that holds the different levels in different minds. But as a brotherhood, and as a question of the peace, the world countries have to put their focus on Israel-Palestine conflict just to minimize this conflict at the potential in which they can perform their role. So many times we know that both the countries are playing the diabolical and seraph roles on the name of the religious theocracy.